Welcome to Heaving Bosoms, the podcast where two friends maybe haven't gotten to talk to each other face to face in like a month, and so do a slightly unhinged recap of a new adult stalker romance movie that was catnip in all the best and worst ways. I've been extra super thankful for everyone who supports the show on Patreon. So, I'm gonna start welcoming people who sign up each week at the top of the show. I'll also be mixing in longtime patrons because y'all are extra amazing. So, you might hear your name on the show in the near future. All right, so here's a big welcome to Monica H, Amy H, Heather, Brittany C, Kimberly, Hot Tennis Pro 88, love the energy you're bringing there, Jocelyn G, Carrie SH, and Erin F. Thank you so much for becoming patrons. We've got over 160 bonus episodes that you can devour and so much more. Like right before we recorded this recap, Naima and I caught up on where we are in the Orc Sworn series by Finley Fenn, and that was posted on the Patreon this week. It involves a lot of gleeful flailing. But wowza. Today is part one of a Spanish movie that's currently on Netflix. Naima introduced me to this deliciously problematic film, and I don't think I'll ever stop thanking her. Check the show notes for content warnings just in case. But here's Naima Simone and I recapping Through My Window. Here we go. I cannot.
God, I'm like sweating now.
Same. Oh my God, now we have to do a regular episode, except that's going to be bananas too.
Oh my God,
shit.
it doesn't let up. It doesn't let up.
I mean, not when your beautiful face is involved. You goddess, you.
Same. Like your radiance is just like, it's just like.
I just don't understand how you continue to level up the good shit you bring to my life, Naima. It's bullshit.
Listen, every time you pop up in my text messages, I'm like, oh.
Well, that's good because I feel like I'm really falling down on this relationship.
You bring joy with every text message. I'm in Australia, like, I got to see this shit. I got presents when I get home.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
Anyway. Okay, how did you, I mean, you know me, so like, I'm sure there was a piece of you who knew what you were doing for me.
Listen, I did.
Listener, I texted Naima. It was a very casual emergency text, and I was just like, hey, Naima, I don't know if you're, free at all next week, but if you want to come on Heaving Bosoms, like, let me know. We could do a movie even. I don't care, because I don't have anything right now in the docket. I did take the whole Kickstarter off because I was losing my mind over Kickstarter, and that, I feel, should be forgiven.
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah, should be.
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen it?
It's doing okay. It's doing okay. It's the last day right now, and I'm I'm happy about it. I'm really excited that people are excited.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh, I haven't had coffee yet, but what do you think about this trailer or like this 90s movie? And I was like, I'm sorry. The fuck you said about that trailer?
Because I couldn't describe it enough with,
no.
What about this? What the fuck did I just look at movie? You needed to see the trailer, like in order to get the full impact of what this movie.
And like, I have a vague memory of talking to you about doing this movie for Bonkers when we were watching 365, and then somehow,
and now you understand why?
Yeah, I dropped the ball completely, and I don't know if I've ever been more angry with myself. So thank you for saving me from that ridiculously stupid fate.
I think that everyone should of an age should see, not because everyone in this movie wasn't of an age apparently, but everybody of an age should see this. What the fuck? Everybody should see a what the fuck did I just watch movie in their lifetime.
It's my favorite genre.
It really is.
I'm sorry.
Because you take all the expectations off and your standards too. And you're like,
literally anything could happen. And it
wide
does.
open. Wide open.
Wide open.
Every cliche, every trope, every guilty pleasure was thrown in this movie. And
every stilted bit of dialogue you could possibly muster.
Oh my God. Every just like, did he really just say that?
Are you sure? Are you sure that sentence follows the one before it? I don't know that it does.
And could you turn it off?
Fuck no.
I know. Actually, you could not turn that shit off.
I planned poorly. And so I had like a big girl meeting that I had to go to.
Dang it.
And I accidentally spent so much time like marveling over the first 15 minutes and storying the first 15 minutes. Turns out my new favorite pastime is storying reactions to ridiculous movies.
To this movie was perfect. I was hollering because you said everything. From your face to what you said was everything that was my reaction when I was watching this movie. I was like, I turned it off. What the fuck just happened?
It is so
the last hour and 40 minutes go.
Yes. So, wow. I did not like turning it off. I had to do it, and it was the worst. I don't know. It was maybe the hardest thing I've ever done other than labor.
Because let's be honest, like the first 15 minutes, a lot went on in the first 15. There was some lines crossed in like the first 15 minutes.
Naima, there was some batshittery from the story to the production, to the beats that drop, Naima. The beats that
I was up there like,
oh my God, thunderclap, beat drop, rain, push-ups.
And then there was just so much nakedness in this movie.
Wow.
And
some
sex.
Of it, some nakedness you did not want.
You didn't ask for.
And
you
like
didn't ask for.
Not in a body shaming way. More of a is supposed to be a 14-year-old, and I don't need to see his tighty whitey penis.
That part.
I don't like it. I don't want it.
I don't think that should be on anybody anyway. No. But on a 14-year-old and you're getting finger banged in the same bed as him, I'm like,
I mean. Okay, I have a hot take.
The line.
No, I'm sorry. I think I have a hot take on that scene, so we have to start.
Okay, because honestly, I think our hot take is going to be the same.
Okay. That makes me feel a tiny bit better because I'm confused, Naima. I'm confused.
If I can sum up this movie in one line, it would be, I felt so bad for loving it.
Somebody replied to one of my stories being like, yeah, that movie's a lot. I'm not a big fan of it because both of the main characters are problematic. And my response was, they are so problematic and it's catnip and I'm ashamed of myself.
I'm like, really?
I'm sorry.
I feel bad that I really enjoyed the movie because there were some just cringy things.
Cringy, illegal.
Uncomfortable, riding the line of like illegal. If illegal's right here, it was just like edging.
Yeah, like what is emotional abuse? When does it start happening? Yes. When does it stop happening?
When do you like walk away and grab that pride? Or
it's rough.
But at the same time, there was some things that were just so truly ridiculous that I was just like,
honestly,
I just
and like, I'm sorry, humanly relatable.
Like, it wasn't
I looked at a lot of the bad decisions and I was like, I am not above that bad decision. I'm not above it.
That'd be me if I was a Spanish teen living in a mansion.
If my nipples still look like that, Naima, okay?
I can't live. Okay, wait, yeah. I would be going.
They would be out.
I mean,
for this broken boy.
Every time we walk by the window, I'd be like, woohoo.
Oh, hello.
They're like out. Fucking Mardi Gras.
They escaped. How did it happen? The perkiest nipples you've ever seen in your life.
I hate when they do that.
Golly, they got a mind of their own, really? Anyway, I hope all of these actors were at least 22.
I honestly, even the 14-year-old, can he just be like a young, like 20, a young 18?
Just a baby-faced 20-year-old.
Just something.
That's really what I need at a minimum. Yeah.
There was parental neglect.
Oh,
there was
so much parental. There was that moment in which she was incredibly ashamed of her mother, and her mother did not bat an eye.
Yes,
ma'am.
It was like she kind of like accepted it, and I was like,
ma'am, there is no shame in hard work. And
none.
You should, I don't know. I'm not into corporal punishment, but maybe a spanking is in order. You're ashamed of me for being a cater waiter. Go fuck yourself. What do you think buys this house, you ass?
Right. How could you afford to live next to the millionaire, which we're totally get into too, because I
can't. I have no idea how that works.
This was
okay. I'm sorry. We have to start. So it turns out it starts and there's a big zoom over a city and into a skyscraper, into a library. I don't understand, but I'm going with it.
It makes perfect sense to me.
Barcelona's different than here. And she's in class and she's scared to tell. She's in a writing class.
Yes.
She won't share what she's written.
She's scared. Been there, ma'am. Been there.
Still there, ma'am. Still there. Anyway.
That part. I am still there.
So then we get like this backstory because she's like, I can't tell my story, but also this isn't even where my story starts. Zoom out again.
It started in my bedroom.
Oh, in my little casa, my tiny little cottage. And it is all of a sudden surrounded by a Hidalgo property.
And I was like, so did it just like grow around her house? Or is it like right next door? Are you in a courtyard? Because they kept coming in her courtyard, like the little area.
Like they owned it.
I was like, I need some logistics. Can I get an aerial view?
We got the aerial view, but still it didn't make sense. There was like the tiny casa, and then like the property went basically around it.
Yes.
And then back around. And like, was that like eminent domain?
Palatial moat.
Yeah. How did that work?
I needed a quick architectural, structural explanation, but didn't get it.
Landscape architects out there. I got a great email from a person who knows what a landscape architect is because they are in fact one. And if you want to chime in on this, I know that you're not like a city planner or whatever, but I feel like you know a city planner. And let a bitch know, because now I understand landscape architecture a tiny bit more.
Just like, hook us up. Explain it.
Okay, so listen. She's ensconced by a Hidalgo property. Okay?
I'm about to use that word at some point today.
And she has what she calls an unhealthy... Does she actually say obsession? She might.
She did. Because she definitely said unhealthy. And at first, I was like... But I mean, we've all had preoccupations, crushes on people. But no, hers was it
went to another level.
Right. It did. It
wasn't like me going down a slightly different street so that I could drive past David Hoel's house at least twice a day. That was different. This is shut up, Naima. One was on the way to school, and one was on the way out from school.
Okay, clean it up.
Okay. That is, I was on my way to another place legitimately. Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay.
She, on the other hand, she is like saving pictures of him. She's writing fanfic of this real man in real life.
Stalking him.
She's doing a big stalk on him.
Yes.
Like literally.
Under the bleacher stalk.
And
follow home stalk.
And like, listen, there are times in which you say to yourself, that premise is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But you eat it with a spoon. And here is a premise that is ridiculous.
A serving spoon.
Oh, do you need me to get a shovel? Do you have a backhoe? Just drown me in it. I don't need oxygen.
I'm so glad somebody else feels the same way I do about this.
I have this now, and it will sustain me. The premise is that they're like these super rich. They're the richest people in Barcelona.
Right.
And Apollo is the youngest, and he's a sweetie pants.
He is. He's 14.
He is 14, and he does wear tighty whiteys, and I didn't need to know that.
No, nobody needed to know that.
Yeah. Then Artemis is the oldest brother.
Oldest, yes.
He is a hot blue-eyed man. I don't know what else to say about him.
He had that brooding thing going.
Oh, I mean, because he has taken his dad's bullshit and he has made it his personality.
Yes.
And he is towing the family line.
Hard. And we find out just how hard, like, later on in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very clandestinely hard, if you
Yes.
will, Naima. And I think you might. Then she says her favorite of the three is, in fact, the middle brother. And I'm quoting, all right? I did pause it 3 times so I could make sure I got those subtitles correct. It says, a Greek god fallen down to earth, Ares Hidalgo, the most enigmatic, the most inscrutable, and the sexiest of the trio of gods.
I honestly don't think it was the most inscrutable, but it was a damn good description.
Absolutely. It worked for me.
It set it up nicely. And then when we saw him for the first time, I was pleased. I was like,
I didn't hate it.
The fanfare was worth it.
Yeah,
okay. It was worth it.
Yep. I still would probably choose Apollo if I were younger.
I'm all on Artemis. Like, I know I would have went towards him because of the being in the...
You would be.
I would. He's just, that's where I would have.
Yeah, fair. I mean, I'm just glad that we're not going after the same fictional man. You know what I mean? We can still be friends.
We can still, when we smile at each other, we can still mean it.
That's right. Down to my bones, Naima. Anyway, okay. So then she says he's never noticed her. And she is an actual stalker, and she has a file on him. And then, like, her Wi-Fi decides to plot against her one day.
Yes.
And I don't know what she was actually doing on that computadora.
It's questions. It's questionable.
But, like, it's slower now. And so she looks out into her courtyard. Okay?
Right.
Her veranda. If you
neighboring the big ass mansion. Yes.
That's the one. And there is a tiny Apollo there.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
and he's
sweet
like,
Apollo.
Oh, thank you so much. My brother said that you're sharing your Wi-Fi with us. Thank you. And she's like,
please don't ask why the millionaires couldn't afford to get their Wi-Fi fixed. It's fine.
No. Absolutely not.
It's fine.
Nobody needs to know or think about it.
It's not important to the plot at all.
Absolutely. They do have a saltwater pool, and they own a whole skyscraper and several helicopters that are on a personal helipad.
Billions.
But the Wi-Fi is a problem that is insurmountable.
It cannot be fixed. No. But hey, no problem.
We're fine with that.
We're going with it.
We're good.
With it.
So
I didn't ask questions. I don't even know why we're talking about it.
That's what I'm saying.
It's fine.
And so she's like, Aries said that Apollo says, Aries said you shared your password with us. Thank you. And she's like twitching a little bit, being like, I feel like no, but okay. So then there's like an uns in the middle of the night, and she does wake up and walks. And she wakes up and walks to the window in these bikini underwear that I'm sorry should be illegal.
Man, decide what you want to be. Do you want to be like high, like thigh high cut, like, or do you want to be a thong or a throng? I'm not sure, but the in between doesn't do it for me. How do you sleep in that?
First of all, because there's no way. First of all, I can't wear them because my ass will just eat them. Is the biggest problem.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Mine would be like a thong, like
Absolutely.
Not even a thong because it'd have like some out, but the would just be like.
No, it's nom is what my butt says. But that's when I think about it in relation to me.
Yeah.
So they should be illegal for that reason for me.
Yeah.
They should be illegal for her because they did work a little bit too well for me.
Yeah.
She looked good, Naima.
She did.
It was a problem.
I didn't hate it. Did my eyes go exactly there? Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's what she wanted, you know? She's plotting against
the shot was from the back.
It was. Wow, thank you, camera operator. Thank you.
And with the tea, like with the tea with
the
just
crop tea. Like, please tell me she's at least 22. Please don't Google it, listener. I have not Googled it.
We're living in denial.
I just need her to be at least 22.
That's right. Do not ruin this for us.
And like, that's still a fetus. It just makes me feel like not a lecher.
Right.
That's all.
No, but it's a legal fetus. So
yeah, it's a firmly legal fetus.
Right. And I like being firmly entrenched in the legality of it.
Same here.
But I might have called her like a skinny bitch for being able to wear it. I mean, fine. I mean, we're admitting we like this movie, so I feel like I can admit that. Like, that's right. You know, so
no, this is a safe space, and nobody's listening.
Okay.
So we can take comfort in that too. Okay. So it turns out,
still don't like those underwear.
No. So it turns out there's the uns because he has this fucking rich prick. He has a laptop just sitting on a wet ground doing an uns so that he can smoke in her courtyard, sir.
Right. Because apparently their palatial estate isn't big enough. There isn't like, so he has to come in her courtyard under her window to one, pollute her lungs and then her ears.
That's the correct one. And like, what's crazy to me is that he can apparently scale her fence, but the Wi-Fi can't.
Right.
And that's physics, I think.
And I'm not admitting anything here, right? I'm not admitting nothing. I'm just saying this, like, strictly for podcast purposes.
Yeah.
My neighbor's Wi-Fi reaches fine over, and we have a fence and a yard in between us.
I know.
I'm not saying how I know, but I'm just saying it does.
No, you just see things.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying. So take
not
it
in Barcelona, Naima.
No,
okay?
not that. I'm sorry. Different beast.
Yeah. It looks totally differently over there.
Yeah, totally.
So she says, "Oh, so you're using my Wi-Fi?" And he's like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Oh, you just admit it?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, everyone. I'm really sorry to do this to you."
I did laugh. I did.
He says, "What can I say? I'm an honest boy." And my conflicting feelings felt weird about it.
This when you realize that, oh, it's going to be that kind of movie. Because then not only was the line, this is a Spanish movie, and it's dubbed over. It's so
well. It's dubbed well.
It's dubbed well, but like the first time I heard his voice, I giggled. It sounds like, is that
that's
really
a 49-year-old man? If it's a day, that's a 49-year-old man at a minimum.
I was like, is that
That's not a child.
I was just saying, if we was in a chat room, he would have gave himself away.
Oh, for sure.
There's no pretending you are a 17-year-old.
No, we wouldn't have needed that guy on NBC who's not on NBC anymore.
No.
Who did those honey traps on those perverts. What was his name? I don't know.
I don't know. I know what you're talking about.
We wouldn't have needed that.
At all.
Nope.
So I did giggle. Good part is, as the movie went on, I got used to it. But when I first heard his voice, I giggled because that coming out of that face, it was like,
it was a lot. Yeah.
Was there a run on younger men?
And like, hopefully that actor's also 49. You know what I mean? Just like a really young looking 49.
Really young, like babes in the blood of virgins, like 49.
He's a Romanian countess, and we didn't know it.
We did. This is what we're hoping.
That's what we're hoping. Oh no. Okay, so then she's like, here's the thing about her, all right?
Yeah.
She does say, she like does this really good thing where she's obviously in his thrall, but both, okay, take this as you will, because I don't quite mean it like this. I just don't know quite how to say it otherwise. But both the writing and the actress do a really good job of like keeping her just aloof enough, you know? To where
there's like aloof with just
with interest?
Yes.
Like with like looking up under your eyelashes interest?
Yeah, she does it's like she does that that like shy alluring thing kind of.
Yeah. But also like doesn't take any shit kinda.
Right, but kind of, because there are times she does, but her manner is which I appreciated, because we all know you're a stalker, and at least make the pretense of not being one, even though you were busted out as being one.
I mean, ladies got layers, I guess.
But attitude, yo. Yeah, that's what it is.
So
she's not your average 17-year-old.
It's definitely not your average 17-year-old stalker, I'll tell you that much.
No!
Naima, all right? So she says, and she's like serious about it. She's like, get off my patio and stop using my Wi-Fi. And he's like,
this is a crime.
Oh, what are you going to do about it? And she's like, oh, you know a lot about, what did she say? Shit. I'm sorry, I lost it. Okay. Oh, and then he says, she's like, turn the music down, asshole. She calls him an asshole, okay?
Yeah.
And then he says, oh, you know a lot about me, but I know things I shouldn't know about you too. I'll keep using your Wi-Fi whenever I want. Witch.
Okay, let's talk about this.
We have to talk about the witch for several hours.
Yeah, for like, this will be the first time of many mentions of witch.
Yeah. Tell me how you felt about it.
You won't judge me?
Never. Listen to me right now. I don't know if it's because we were both taken under the spell of the one and only Finley Fenn, but like, I don't know if it's because I recently listened to Joe R. call the midwife witch the whole book.
Yep. It was an endearment.
Worked for me, but it worked for me.
It worked because, I mean, it wasn't bitch, but it was, just, I read a lot of, because I can't even say that. Well, yeah, I didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it. So I think the other reason,
because I don't think he meant it as like derogatory. Like it was a taunt. Almost.
Yeah. And it starts as though like you believe maybe it's derogatory, but you're watching a romance movie, so you know that it won't be super derogatory.
Yeah. And you could tell he was interested, or else he just would not have been in her courtyard.
Come on, man.
Window.
Yeah,
okay?
You're giving yourself away. All right.
Yeah.
No, but then, okay. So the other reason is, I think maybe the other reason is that it worked just well enough in like the maybe this isn't culturally translating the same
right, like maybe what he said in Spanish wasn't exactly,
I mean, in his phone later on he calls her bruja, so I think he says bruja. I think it just like means like a slightly different thing, or can connote something slightly different.
Right, it's not bitch.
No.
It's not.
And later on, I don't know if it's now or later, but at some point she says, stop calling me that. And he says something baffling, like, and by like, I mean verbatim, fix your hair more often and I'll stop. What, sir? What do those two things have to, I think it's not translating, but it's very charming.
Right, because I'm like, all I heard was that you watched me enough to know that my hair is just like doing this flyaway thing.
Yes. You know what my hair looks like all the time. Okay?
Do notice me.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I heard. Like, but it was weird. Like what you said earlier. It was like sometimes they say this line and then the next line and you're like, you're doing this. Like,
I don't understand.
What does that have to do with?
And I don't know if you knew this. Somebody else replied to my stories yesterday and said that this started as a Wattpad fanfic situation.
Color me surprised.
It's fucking brilliant. I'm sorry.
Say that? I can see that.
I mean, it's Venezuelan teenage 50 Shades kind of almost.
Brilliant. I can totally see that. Because I'm honest. This, like, I'm just going to be brutally honest.
Please.
All the inappropriateness, the lines that were either edged or crossed or whatever. This is something my younger self would have totally written and hidden under my bed.
Oh, yeah.
It totally is. I'm just being honest. All the things that were just problematic and questionable. This is really honestly something my younger self would have wrote and enjoyed it and hid under my bed so my mother wouldn't have seen.
Absolutely. And this is something I would have read in the dark over and over again and not told a soul.
Me too. And now we're just watching it. So I kind of think it's just full circle.
I think so too.
It's scratching an itch.
I mean, there's something later on that it caught me off guard as to why it scratched something in my id.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it.
I don't know I don't know what was going on. Anyway,
we got to talk about it. We have to dissect it.
We have to get to know ourselves more. You know what I mean?
This is why we watch these movies, to uncover more about ourselves and learn ourselves.
Introspection.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're doing a self-growth, Naima.
If you look at it that way, watching this movie was a form of self-care.
Self-care, therapy even.
That's
is all I'm saying.
Definitely therapy.
Shit. Okay. And then my note is, does she not know about changing passwords?
Right.
Come on, man.
I mean,
and
seriously, but they were treating this whole Wi-Fi thing like it was an actual crime. Like he had just pirated a book, or he had just I'll keep using your Wi-Fi and there's nothing you could do with it. You know, like
I'm doing a virtual break and enter on you. I'm like,
it's not like it's costing you anymore, like your mom anymore. But I'm going with it.
I'm fine with it.
I'm going with it.
Yeah. And like the author does explain it kind of later.
Yeah, at the end. Yeah. Yeah. I was like, nice way to clean that up, to round it up. Bring it.
She brought her mop out in the end.
She did, because we were all looking at that with the squint. We were, but honestly, author, we don't care. We're going with it. If you had left it, I still would have went with it.
I wouldn't have said a fucking thing.
Thank you. Not a damn thing. But thank you for making the effort for your reader and your viewer.
That's what I'm saying.
She cares.
The next day at school, something really important happens.
Really?
And that is that
we meet Yoshi.
We meet Anime Ken doll, who at that moment is wearing neon board shorts and a bathrobe.
I'm like,
just walking down the halls of school,
and nipples out, like the yellow or pink shaded glasses, pink hair. Isn't it pink?
It's pink like shag hair that is honestly delicious.
I loved Yoshi.
I love a Yoshi.
I was Yoshi at one point, and like in all the ways, from the unrequited love to the fashion choice.
I mean, I was not that cool as far as the fashion choice was concerned.
No. Like, I was not before my time. Let me just put it that way.
Right. There was like a Winnie the Pooh Letterman jacket at some point in my life that is something I still think about and shudder. It was a gift. I will have you know I did not choose it. However, I did not waste it. I did not put it under my bed and forget it existed.
And only bring it out when the person who gave it to you visited.
No, I was much more practical, Naima, and economical about it. Okay? It was cold. And I thought I was pulling it off. I thought skin of my teeth, I was pulling it off. I was wrong. Anyway, there was no cool pink hair or yellow cool glasses.
Yeah. No. Yoshi was from the time he stepped on the screen, it was just like, oh, we love you. And
he's like just perfectly earnest. He says all the things. He says all the quiet parts out loud, but somehow nobody takes him seriously about it.
Right. He's like the wise person that nobody really listens to or takes serious.
For sure.
But he is speaking wisdom, right? But you can't see it or hear it past the hair and the clothes.
No, those board shorts are blinding to your ears. is all I'm saying. They're very loud, those board shorts. No, actually, in this scene, he walks up to the heroine and he's like, oh, are you daydreaming about our future wedding someday? And she's like, oh, Yoshi. And I'm like, no, that's the quiet part out loud.
No, right. Like, he means that shit. Like, why can't you see it? He's been on the screen 2 minutes and we know he's serious.
Yeah. I knew 15 seconds in he was swaggering at you. Okay?
It was so directed to
swagger in that.
Like, the man got it. I'm just saying, he
wonderful.
Got it. I loved him.
Then we meet Daniela, who is a problem all unto herself.
Total opposite of what's her name? I can't think of her name.
Raquel.
Raquel, right?
Raquel.
Total opposite of Raquel.
Also, she is dressed like a Mean Girls Clueless mashup.
Right. Very good. Like, that's nice. That's perfect. Yeah.
Thank you. Mean Girls Clueless. Toss a little rave in there, and you've got Daniela, I believe her name is. She's making out with a teacher in a closet, a lady teacher in a closet when we meet her.
That's not predatory at all.
What the fuck is going on with that teacher?
At this school, like, what? And like that was our first sign that was it our first sign that something that this is going to be shits on top of shits. This is what this movie's going to be.
Daniela overall makes some choices. She does later get finger banged in public by a 14-year-old.
Like, she went from the predatory adult.
Yeah. To now being the predator.
Being the predator.
She's oh no. Oh no, she's enacting. Oh no, this isn't. Oh no, I feel bad about saying this because it's real. She's enacting her abuse.
Yeah, she went from one extreme to the other. Because when I saw that, I was like, but wait, aren't you like, wait?
He might be 15,
maybe he's 14 3/4.
I
thought what's the name said he was 14.
I don't remember anybody saying any age ever. I just assigned it in my brain because that's what he looks like.
I thought he was like, he might be 15. Either way, she's older, and
she's at least 16 or 17.
Yeah, and she's
learned.
Very much
in the
so.
ways of the flesh. Okay. She knows what's going on.
She knows what's what.
In a way that I don't know is healthy.
It makes you question, like, it just makes you question.
And yet she's also pretty wise later on.
Yeah, she really is. And she is a wonderful friend.
She's a good friend.
And she's funny, but I need her backstory. Because who hurt you?
What happened, love? Yeah.
That you're making these choices. It's like,
I don't love it.
But the thing in the movie was nobody batted an eye. Like,
no, it was one of those things where, like, it was. I didn't love this part because the movie did proliferate the trope of, like, the predatory teen who takes advantage of, people, teachers who shouldn't be risking it, but somehow can't resist her or what the fuck ever.
Right.
And, like, it's not okay.
It's
not okay.
It's not, like, but and there's no but for me, but it's like the movie just really glossed over that. Like, maybe the book or the Wattpad fiction gives more in depth of what, but I'm like,
maybe not.
Maybe because it just seemed accepted, just like it seemed accepted that the three guys next door were having, like, orgies in the pool, or like when their father was, like, it was a fucking nudist, like, colony over there when the father wasn't home and he was neglectful. And I'm like, hey.
And that includes, like, the 28-year-old oldest brother.
Yes, he didn't bat an eye.
He was, like, sitting in a chair reading a fucking newspaper being like, teens will be teens.
When he isn't preoccupied with other things.
Claudia. Yes. Okay, I'm so sorry, everyone.
Okay, yeah, because we keep
Daniela
jumping
is her
forward.
own, like, labyrinth that honestly we don't have time for, and I'm sorry for that. But I am not I'm not qualified to dissect Daniela.
But in our defense, neither did the author or the director.
No. And also, Daniela might actually be a witch because she does manage to fill a swimming pool full of sewage later. And I don't know where that came from.
I'm just going to say this is why she's such a good friend.
Or how. Why.
I need my friends to have those abilities.
I guess. Like, what did it even do for the plot, though?
I don't even care. Teenage me needed my friends to have that ability for Eugene, who hurt my feelings and rejected me. I needed that trait right then and there so we could go fill his pool up with sauce.
That's what I'm saying.
So if she has powers, use them for good, Daniela.
Oh, I know what it did for the plot. I just figured it out.
Oh, what? Tell me, because I didn't get it.
I just got it. It impacts the very end. The big climax that changes everything in his life. That's why the pool is drained.
With the pool. Damn, yeah.
She's a fucking genius.
Why? What was in the pool was in the pool.
She's a low-key genius.
To clean it.
Low-key genius.
Look, okay, we apologize.
I'm so sorry.
Plot twist.
Yeah. Wow, these two brainiacs figured it out live on the show.
Right, because we just need to take note. When we were by ourselves, we didn't get it. But we needed to be together.
We needed the mind meld, Naima.
That's right.
Okay, I'm so sorry. So what happens next? Oh, so then she does a big stalk on him. She's like, oh, bye, guys. I'll see you never. And she literally goes into an alley and then goes into a side back door and then goes underneath the bleachers and then manages to stand in plain sight behind bleachers. But not
in plain sight because nobody called her on being a perv. But, again.
It happened.
Maybe she is a witch.
Maybe only we could see her.
Maybe.
I will go with you here. Conspiracy Town, population, Naima and Melanie. There is an actual paranormal element to this movie.
I was about to say that, Melanie. What if me and you have just figured out that this was actually a paranormal romance in disguise?
The whole time. Naima! Yes. That's what happened.
So him calling her witch was actually foreshadowing.
It was. It was saying the quiet part out loud. And we didn't know it. He was doing a big Yoshi on us.
I'm going to have to go see if I can find this book to read it. Like the fanfic, something.
Yes.
Please let there be an English translation.
I can't. Oh my God, you Venezuelan genius. Anyway, so she... Now, this is also a point that I need to talk with you about for several hours. Because she is watching his football practice, okay?
Yeah.
And they're doing a push-ups. And then thunderclap, beat drop, rain. Yeah. So now she's the only one left because every dinkhole who's on the top of the bleachers, idiots, they shouldn't be there. They can't stay now. She can, though.
Yes, because she gets to watch under the bleachers.
That's the one. But now I did start watching very closely because unfortunately I do have a 4K TV. And
I know what you're going to say.
For a good 4 minutes, Naima, minimum, I saw some shit on their backs and I was like, are they just selectively hairy? Are they
Rhodesian ridgebacks?
Yes. Like they're just porpoises everywhere else, but hair all on the back of their backs. All of them, every single footballer was like that. And I was confused. I'll tell you that much.
I saw your story. And then I was like, what's that? Like,
what is
I missed that. Then I went and I turned, before your revelation, I turned it back. I turned it on. And when I was like, and we both saw it at the same time.
It was dirt.
Okay, it's dirt. But for a minute there,
it was
I was
baffling.
like, is this some football manscaping ritual for the team?
I mean... And like, are they behind on it or are they on point on it? Because either way, I'm concerned.
I need details. I need your whole grooming schedule and regimen because I have questions.
Yeah, and let's be clear about this. We need the whole detailed regimen scale about the 22-year-old footballers who are on the team together.
22, not
the youngest
16, 17. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
Turns out they're doing sprints back and forth on the field. On one side, they're doing push-ups. On the other side, they're doing sit-ups, and that's where the dirt's coming from.
Dirt came on. Right. Yeah.
Although somehow on turf. How does that work? Barcelona? How do you get dirt on turf? Barcelona?
I was just going with the rain and it
and it's a paranormal. They could be mid-transition. What if he's a werewolf?
Why are we figuring this out right now?
I mean, because it's the mind meld.
I'm saying, and out of everything in this movie, it actually makes sense.
It does.
It makes the most sense. It does.
Yeah. Okay, so now she has to hide behind a car in the rain because she doesn't want to know she's stalking him.
Right. Even though they're the only two people on this street, like this side street.
This alleyway.
Yeah.
Nobody should be in, everyone?
No.
Okay.
No. But she doesn't want him to know that she's following him like a stalker.
Yeah.
And she's not a good one either.
Not a great one at it. No. And so she is following him like a Pink Panther all the way through the streets and then through into this like national park jungle cemetery. Those are all my questions on here.
It goes
National Park Forest Cemetery Jungle ? Is what's written down right here. Anyway. So then she falls the fuck down. She loses
Oh my God, that was hilarious.
She fucking falls into a mud ditch.
In mud. Like, I was like, oh, damn. So this really is my childhood.
Truly. So then this motherfucker sneaks up on her. How did he do it, though? Because he is simultaneously smoking. How do you not smell him from 3 fucking miles away?
Like downwind? I don't know. Like, yeah, but we'll go with it. Maybe the moss from the National Forest / cemetery / jungle hit it. Yeah. It hit it.
No, it dilutes it real hard.
Exactly. And it was raining, so it just made it mossier, like a peat smell. So it hit it. Yeah. That's what happened.
No,
that's
absolutely.
What happened. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's science. It's also a sci-fi book.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know. That's what we're doing today.
Multi-genre.
Multi-genre, multi-layer.
Yeah.
Multi-flavor.
That's
multi-crime. Both in the film and me watching the film, I accidentally committed several crimes I did not mean to. Mostly involving 14-year-old tighty whiteys that I hated.
Yes. And look,
anyway,
underage drinking.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I didn't even clock that. That didn't even make my list, Naima.
No, because honestly, it was the least out of
that was the most mundane thing.
It really was. I just kind of like pulled that out of my ass.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
That's
but
great.
Honestly, that wasn't even a blip on the radar when you consider the fact that, the other shit that's going on. The
absolutely
bonker shit that's going on.
Yeah, the stalking later on, the public sex, filming an underage sexing couple.
Oh my, I forgot about that.
I forgot about it too till just now. That dad committed a CSAM crime.
He did.
Accidentally. It was a security footage, so I don't know that
but him showing it, like
he was showing it to people.
Though? Yeah. So
no.
And you watched it. So.
That too.
And it was your son, so I don't know, add another it factor. Like,
listen, they were very European about that kind of shit. Wow. Wow.
We're just too American. Like,
maybe
in a movie. I
didn't think I was that American.
Me neither.
Naima.
Until some of the shit that came up, and I was like, I am a closet prude.
Absolutely. Until a dad looked his 16-year-old son in the face and said, fuck all the women you want, but forget about that girl.
Oh my God, the parental advice of the century. I was like, you are such a great dad.
Wow.
So sad.
What happened to you, sir?
Yeah,
Don't inflict your trauma on the next generation.
He was terrible. It was like, is there any, like, except for Apollo, who for some reason is not jaded and tainted like everybody else in the book.
I mean,
is there any reason the rest of them are like they are?
I know.
Because like even Aries is like the push and the pull. You wanted to just punch him in the face at some points because it's like, dude, stop taking your emotional shit out on her.
Yeah. And
I'm still going to be with you in the end. I get.
I will ride or die for you.
Right,
Listen,
but you need to stop. You need to stop.
I'm very conflicted about it, though. So I'm so sorry, listener. Listen, this is just.
We are all over the place.
We're all over the place because we missed each other as part of it.
That too. It's like just, if we did this, like if we'd had like just this in between April and now, I promise you we would not be going off on different tangents. But
right, they're all on point.
Yeah, they are.
Except for that one I did have to cut out because it is very personal and it's just for Naima.
But that too was relevant.
It was. And you might see it in a book later.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned. I won't name names.
Listen, if you don't put me in those fucking acknowledgments, Naima, I am not ashamed. Anyway.
Oh, God.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
Oh.
So he taps her on the shoulder in this goddamn cemetery jungle national park. And he is like, and she's like, wow, what are you doing here? I've never seen you in my life.
Wait, really? I wasn't stalking you. Where did you show up from?
And he's like, oh, you don't think I know about your little obsession with me? And she's like, what obsession?
Honest to God, that's kind of how he says it.
Yes. I am a voice actor, Naima. Okay. I do my own Foley art. All right. Shit. Okay. So sorry. And so then she's like playing dumb hard. And then
very hard. Very convincingly too.
So then he walks slightly down the hill and he grabs her by the wrist. And I had a visceral physical
I'm like,
reaction to that.
Don't grab me like.
No, I liked it. Oh no, I liked it.
I like the way that he like grabbed. I would have just like, yo, dude.
Yeah. But you knew she was into it too.
Oh, definitely. Like she was.
He was her Pied Piper. I'll tell you that right now.
Anything he did.
Literally.
Anything. Like my grandmother used to have a saying, like, you just love his funky draws, don't you? And
that's the realest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Right? That's some damn love. Like,
holy shit.
She loved his funky draws. She did.
Even though they were the funkiest.
Yeah, they were.
Like they're not for the faint of heart, you know?
No.
So he grabs her by the wrist and he pulls her up the embankment just to get a Sharpie ?
Right.
And this was what I had. Like, it scratched my id in a way that I still haven't parsed.
I sighed. Like, I was like,
He took a Sharpie and he wrote her coded Wi-Fi password on her forearm, and he says it looks a lot like Aries, Greek god.
I was like, busted. And then I was like, oh, right here.
No, my God. Here. Why did that grab me by the wrist and then write something on me? Why does that do something to my pants? I don't understand.
Join the club. I was like,
she taught me something about myself.
I have two arms. I have two.
Oh, yeah. What else? I mean, you want an appendage? Which one? You take your pick, really. Do we need a grab bag?
They're all free.
I'll write them all down. You pick out of the bag and you can write on it. That's sexy, right? That's how to seduce. Do a big seduce.
I love that.
I know. It's my special flavor.
I was like, ooh.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So then he's like, why do you do that? Why would you do that? And she's like, you don't know.
I was like, oh, girl.
She's like, I do it because I like you. And he looks
like,
appropriately unnerved. Okay.
No, right? I mean, because honestly, you should. She followed you into the forest, national park / cemetery / jungle.
That's the one.
Like, and this is from practice. And so she's stalking you. And now it's like you had in your back pocket, your name was her password. And for someone like that, liking means, bars on the window because she's coming for you. Like, this is a full on, ID discovery stalk situation. Yeah. You should be a nerd.
I've never seen this movie, but I do know it as a cultural reference. And this is boiled bunny territory.
Right.
I believe that was a Glenn Close.
Yeah, it was.
Brought that to the world. Yeah.
Thank you, Glenn Close.
Thank you, Glenn Close.
We forever have a reference. It's
one of the many things you've done for this world.
That's right.
So then he's like, wow, he basically says, like, I thought you were just a mouse, but turns out there's more to you. And she looks him dead in the face with her mouseness. And she says, I'm the most interesting girl you'll ever meet.
Yes, she does. I was impressed.
That's just what I'm saying. Every once in a while.
I was like,
I'm like, oh shit. She can just give her right back.
And this is after you fell in a mud puddle and you're splattered in mud.
She's covered in mud, listener.
And you're giving badass attitude like, bravo, ma'am. I was impressed.
Honestly. And so he's like, so what does this interesting girl want from me? And I was about to hear her say that D, but that's not what happened.
Oh, okay, that was just me. I projected.
That was the internal monologue that happened for us. No, he says, you want to come see my room? And she goes, oh, and leave without my dignity? Ma'am?
Yeah.
I think that ship has sailed.
I know, like...
You are covered in mud after stalking him at practice. And
after you done found out his name is your password, give it up. Like, and frankly, in this situation, looking at him play with dirt on his body, dignity is a little overrated. Like, he can have mine.
Yeah.
And if I had my virginity, he can have that too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I will fix him with my nether regions anytime he wants, really.
It's not like you can't ever get it back. I mean, come on.
I can resurrect dignity anytime I want. Okay, so then he's like, FYI, I hacked your computadora so that I could get your Wi-Fi password, and that's how I found it out, and that's why I have your Wi-Fi, and that's how I am an evil villain of this film. He says. And so he's like, so, like, if you don't want to come see my room, then what do you want? And she looks sheepish, all right? She's a big old sheep.
Yeah, because she didn't plan on it this far. Like, she wasn't...
She's like,
she wasn't prepared.
Sideways. I have to be honest. I don't want to come to your room, but I do want you to fall for me. And then everyone was ashamed of themselves.
I was like, what was that about dignity? No. What was that about dignity? So you didn't go to his room, but you still decided to give it to him.
I can't see your dignity anymore. I think it's
dignity. Dignity. Where are you, dignity?
Start printing the flyers. We gotta put them up on all the telephone poles.
Put them on milk carton.
Raquel's dignity. Where is it? She done left it in a grocery store somewhere. Okay?
She left it at a fucking fire station. She abandoned it.
It's so true. Oh my God.
I was like, cringe.
Wow. So she says, walk me home. The only reason I'm here is because I'm scared to walk home alone, even though I've done it every day for the last 4 years.
But today is different because there's an evil coven in the woods.
Absolutely. It's paranormal times now.
Right. Like, we figured this out.
That's right. And he says, I am a bargainer demon. There is a price. And the price is a kiss anywhere I want on you.
And coincidentally, we are at the Crossroads. So it is anywhere I want.
That's the one.
That should have been a very good clue about where we were headed in this glaring red clue about where we were
Foghorns,
headed.
you fucks.
And still I wasn't ready. Still I was not ready.
I was not ready because she did it twisty like. You know, she was twisty about it.
It didn't happen there. We got we got like all heated up, but it didn't happen there. And I was like, oh, okay, so it's all talk. All right.
Yeah. So they do a big tension at each other. And she's like, oh, twist my arm, basically. It's a high price, but I guess I'll pay it. And then he stalks over to her. And then he like grabs on, he like touches her collarbone and he lifts up her necklace.
Yes.
And then he gets her to the point where she drops even more dignity. Like we thought it was gone. Turns out she had a little bit more.
And she just
threw it down a waterfall, I'll tell you that much.
She shot putted it.
She gets up on her toes to go kiss him, and he just about kisses her, and then he pulls away.
Oh God. I was, just like the secondhand embarrassment.
And like the worst part is that I melted into a puddle of shame.
I did too.
But she didn't. She's got superpowers.
I think our keyword here should be #dignity.
Okay. Ma'am.
#where are you?
I don't think that word means what you think it means.
I know.
I'm going to do a big Princess Bride on her.
It obviously doesn't mean the same thing to us because, damn, you ain't got any.
It was, I mean, and goddess bless you, you know?
Oh, yeah. Because,
like walking through the world with those kind of brass ovaries.
Right.
I'll tell you that much.
Right. It makes you bold in a way at 40-something, I'm still not capable of.
No, absolutely not.
Shoot,
no.
Dignity.
A puddle.
My dignity is holding me back from so much.
That's such
so
a good
much.
point, Naima.
It is.
Wow. Here I thought I was just the romance court jester. Turns out I am actually above that. Wow. I've got dignity that's holding me back, listener.
It's really holding us back from
I learned
being
something
great.
today. Raquel taught us
therapy.
Something.
Didn't we say this was therapy?
Yes.
Yeah. We're doing a lot of introspection.
Here we go. Wow. So he does walk her home, and then he says, thanks for the Wi-Fi, witch, and leaves her at her doorstep. And so she goes and unplugs it because, again, passwords elude her.
No. Changing it is totally out of the realm of possibility. Let's just shut it down.
Super nod.
Nobody, including you, can use it or have cable or be able to search
or like 5G.
Play
Can
games.
You make a hotspot?
Yeah, that point, that nobody thought of that.
Nah, that's fine.
But let's be honest. She shut it down because she knew he would come. Like, she's no idiot.
Listener, she is sleeping, and then she gets up to do an attack on him with a flimsy notebook.
Because what does he do? Come through her window.
He does an Edward Cullen on her.
Man, he did an Edward Cullen.
Yes. Now that I think about it, it's less Venezuelan 50 Shades and more Venezuelan Twilight. Except they stalk each other, too.
That's right.
It's more equal opportunity.
Edward stalked
hard.
Yes.
But Bella didn't stalk him, I don't remember.
No, she didn't. She didn't.
She did with her eyes around the room.
Yeah, that's true. In her thoughts, but physically, no. Sure. Because she couldn't keep up with him because he's like a vampire.
Yeah, he did. He could like jump 30 feet in the air silently.
So, sorry, Bella.
Yeah. Fucking humans. Dipshit. Anyway.
So, yes, he does pull an Edward Cullen on her.
No wonder it scratches so many of people's itches that we didn't know about. There is something in the alchemy here.
I'm a twihard. I fully admit that.
Absolutely.
Like, I love the movie. So
also problematic, you know?
Very much so. But I'm here. So really, it makes sense why I'm such a...
Oh, my God. And then, Naima... Okay, she goes to attack him with a flimsy notebook, saying, show yourself or I'll whack you, is actually what the dub was. It was fantastic. Then he starts going back and forth with her about, like, she says, breaking into my house could be considered stalking. And he's like, you won't turn me in because stalkers don't turn in the people they stalk.
And he has a point.
He
and
has a big point.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, but you do the same thing. And he's like, there's a difference, though. The difference is I know you like me and I don't like you.
I was like...
I mean, shriveling up inside.
Yes!
I was a raisin at this point. I went from a puddle to a raisin.
Right. It's just like...
Oh, because earlier he told her in that cemetery jungle national park, he did tell her that she wasn't his type as well.
Right. Oh, that's right.
Oh my God.
He was just his
savage, vicious.
Yeah.
Wow.
How did you feel about it? Because
I loved it.
Because I knew where this was going. Like, it is
I think I would actually hate it in real life. I think I would actually turn into a raisin in real life.
No doubt in real life. But
in fiction, fuck me sideways. Oh, no.
I'm like, he was just the cruel hero,
so
the alpha hole who does things to me.
And he doesn't know about his own feelings, and so he does erratic
Right, he's
shit.
so emotionally stunted.
Yeah.
It's like a wounded animal lashing out. You know what I mean?
And but boy, does he lash out on so many levels. Should we talk about the next level?
Yes,
holy
please.
Fuck balls.
But then he kind of like contradicts his words.
Mm-hmm. Hard.
Mm-hmm. Hard.
He says, I don't like you. And he's like advancing toward her. And so she ends up sitting down in a chair and then turning away from him because she's a raisin.
The choreography.
No, it was great. It was practiced so many times. That was some smooth.
It was seamless. It was seamless. It was.
Yes. So then he just, apropos of fucking nothing, gets down on his knees in front of her, okay? And she's sitting with her legs together like a lady.
Yes, the lady she is with her dignity.
She
clutched
found
tight between her thighs. That's where it was.
Yes. We lost it the whole time. Turns out we were just looking in the wrong spot. But he knows where to look, everyone.
Yes. And she loses it again.
I mean, I did too.
But in a delicious way.
Yeah.
You know, I would have punted my dignity at this point.
I would have drop-kicked it. I would have found a well and thrown it down the well and then covered the well.
That's with cement.
I would be mixing cement. This would get me to mix cement.
Like, we don't need your ass.
I mean, cauldron, boil, and bubble. Cover that fucking well. I'll tell. So he then so he puts his hands I think on her arms maybe, and then he pulls. Oh no! He grabs her by the hands and then he puts it. He yoinks her hands down by her sides and he makes her grab her chair. And she's like, "What are you doing?" And then he takes his hand. Come on, man. I know you want it, you feel like you need to fill the space with words, but come on,
Shut up and just let it go.
Right?
Yeah.
That's not how you resurrect your dignity.
That's not at all.
Asking questions we all know the answer to. God damn. So then he pulls his hands down her thighs and then the gentlest, okay? He looks at her and he whispers, "Do you trust me?"
I'm like, fuck no.
But will I show you my most sacred parts?
But my coochie does.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You need me to bear something for you? Will it be extra uncomfy? Yeah, I'll do it.
But I'm all fucking in. All.
That just makes the tingles ratcheted up.
It was.
That's what happens. Because the way it was the gentlest encouragement. He didn't pull her thighs apart.
No, he was not forceful at all.
He gently guided them, and she chose to open her legs for him.
She was fully on board.
And then he does a big ol' open mouth kiss on the top of
her thigh.
Right thigh. And the other hand is doing a big palpate on her other thigh. He's doing one of those hard caresses where it's so good, you see a tiny bit of cellulite because there's so much pressure. Ooh.
Right. It's a flex. It's like a hard flex. And I'm like, I felt it. I felt it.
I couldn't story that part, Naima.
I mean, it might have been my hand, but I felt it. Like I did.
I'm just saying that this part had to be private for me in the movie. I couldn't do it. I couldn't. I turned off the story function for a minute.
Because like, I think watching it, that should be private. It is between us. It's like between me, Aries, and Raquel.
That's
like
what I'm saying.
It really was. It was a special moment.
It was. It did great, amazing things. And then the worst part, the best part, the worst part, the best part.
Cringe.
Is it the best or is it the worst? I don't know. I'm all turned around and blended in a blender right now. So he says, so he kisses up her thigh. And then he whispers, "Should I go on?"
It's just like,
and her head is back.
She is full on flash dance in that chair.
That's
what she looks like. Yeah,
you're right. And I mean, just as much wetness, you know.
Yes, Dale. Yes.
Just in different ways, different areas. Shit.
Weren't we all?
Yikes.
I mean, head thrown back, legs open, back arch, enthralled. And our next shot
is just her alone on that chair, flash dancing by herself. Naima!
I was like, girl, sit up.
He throws himself out that fucking window.
Fucking Spider-Man. Like, he dove out that window.
And so, and then
I was like,
and then to like throw salt or delicious shame or something else in the wound, I don't know. The first thing he says to her, listener, is, "You should clean your room more often. It's not that hard."
Okay, listen. As I looked around my room, I felt that like a punch to the chest.
It was a dagger.
It really was.
It was a dagger to the ego. Okay?
I'm like, damn.
And did it make everything even more ratcheted up? Did it heighten it? Yes. And I hated it for that.
I feel like I'm going to be so judged once people see this.
And then I think this is where he says, "Fix your hair and I'll stop calling you a witch."
Not only is your room dirty, so is your hair. Your hair messy too.
Your weave is messy.
Girl. The savagery of this man.
It's so
boy,
man, 22-year-old minimum.
22-year-old.
Oh no.
Oh God.
I lost my ever-loving mind.
Oh my God.
So now, Anime Ken doll does steal the keys to a pool for no reason that we know of.
None. And from wasn't it the high school that
it was? I think from his own high school.
Yeah. And the guard should get fired, especially since she was distracted with food.
I mean, and have we
I'm
all
not
been
judging
there?
him, though. I'm not judging at all.
I mean.
And it was sushi, too. I'm not judging
Who among us? The best part was that Yoshi says, "This is getting cold."
Cold, yes.
Yoshi.
It's sushi, dude.
You said you brought sushi. You're fucking up the con.
And the guard didn't catch it either.
No, I mean, who again? Who among us hasn't been there?
I'm not judging. I am not judging at all. Mm-mm.
So now she's slinging ice cream at her job.
Her job, yes.
Yoshi is there.
Best job in the world.
I mean, man, I had that job. My mom owned a thrift gift espresso ice cream shop for a minute.
Oh my God. Everything that I love is there.
Yeah.
Like espresso, coffee, thrift shopping, and ice cream?
Yeah. And gift shopping.
Shit. Now I gotta write a heroine owning that because it's
Please.
like happiness in one store.
It is. It's like a one-stop shop. It's happiness for the whole family, no matter who you bring.
No matter how old you are either.
No.
It's like all the age levels in your family, everybody's happy. There's no whining.
Yeah. And the best part was that it was the old tavern in our town. And one of the reasons my mom decided to like invest in the place, it was a bad investment, was because she fell in love with like this antique bar, like this giant wall of bar.
Of course
that,
she
like,
did.
was shipped over from Ireland or something before
damn, that's
anybody.
a story in itself.
Honest, and it was beautiful. And so not only was it like a thrift, gift, espresso, ice cream shop, but it also was set up like an old-timey saloon with like this fuck-off bar. And you felt like a big kid sitting there like getting a drink, but it was coffee and ice cream.
Like you were suddenly in like Tombstone.
Yes.
Yeah. Why am I writing this down?
Please.
Gift, espresso,
Ice cream,
ice
thrift.
cream.
Thrift is important too.
And gift. Oh, thrift is like one of the most important things.
With an incredible, like hand-carved bar back. Like the bar back was like all hand-carved. There was a big mirror in the center of it, so you could also check yourself out.
Ooh.
And like make eyes at people while your back was turned to them. I feel like that's a romance that needs to happen. I do.
I'm like, I think that's like that moment where their eyes meet is in that mirror. I think
probably, yeah. Mm-hmm. And it was like the mirror was just antique enough that it had like those little splotches in it. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Did we just write your next dark romance?
We just really did.
It starts real wholesome.
Like it's the setting, right? Because it's like a thrift gift espresso ice cream shop.
Yeah. She called it the Whistle Stop Emporium. If you want to steal that too.
I will. I'm terrible at names, so this works. So your mom thinks.
No problem.
For you. Oh God. Okay.
Well, how does this keep happening? So what's the next thing that happened? Oh, so he comes over. He comes to her job.
Yes.
Okay? At the fucking wharf or something.
So he's not stalking either at all, apparently. That he shows up at her job when they never discussed where she worked. But again, perfectly okay.
Humph.
Yeah.
So he says, my brother is opening a club and the opening's tonight. And if you want to come. Oh, because she says, this is Yoshi, my best friend. And he says, well, best friend and future husband. And
love Yoshi.
The cutest.
Again, he's telling you how he feels.
Yeah.
More importantly, he's telling the other guy, his competition, how he feels.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. So so she's like, you'll be on the list and your +1 is up to you. And so she goes, Yoshi, do you want to come? And he goes, what, you're going? And then we're there.
Yeah.
She's brought Daniela. Daniela has sparkles on her eyes.
Of course she does. Of course she does.
I have never, like the way she can do mermaid makeup.
It's inspiring.
Honestly, I just look like...
I've never had that talent.
No.
Ever.
And it also just looks weird on my face, you know?
And that too. I
don't know if it's because I know what my face looks like all the time and I've never met her face without a mermaid makeup on it. I don't know.
Just know I could pull it off. Like,
yeah, I don't have the overall tude.
I know myself. I know my limitations. I can't pull off mermaid. Nothing.
And I'm not a Mean Girls Clueless mashup.
Me neither.
Yeah,
that's never been my style.
No.
So I think you have to have that in order to pull it off.
We're gonna leave it to Daniela, I think.
Yeah. You rock it,
She
girl.
really
you
does
rock it. Yeah.
Sorry, everyone. So they go to this incense club. And Daniela's like, I'm going to go to the bar. And she's like, I'm going to lurk and watch for Aries and then hide behind a mirror pillar.
Right. This is what I do.
Like, why didn't she just walk up to him, this fucking creeper?
Because dude invited you, but no, because she is staying true to form.
She is. And also, we find out true to form, he absolutely knows she's there. He does
absolutely
do a meaningful look back when he goes into that VIP area.
Right.
Yeah.
Such a tease.
And then we meet the most beautiful drag queen clown I've ever seen
Glitter
in
on
my
the cheekbones,
life.
hair was perfect. I could do a whole soliloquy about those cheekbones.
Those cheekbones, that goddamn raindrop choker thing
Yes!
that was happening. Those iridescent red lips.
Rocking it.
The fuck?
Yes.
Like, here's the thing. Do you know about that James Bond movie? It might have been the gold one, the gold...
Goldfinger?
Gold Toast?
Was it Goldfinger?
Yes.
And
maybe it might have been this movie in which a woman was perhaps murdered by being smothered
in gold like
paint.
in gold, liquid gold, like, right?
That's the one, because her cells couldn't get oxygen or something. Even though she could breathe.
Remember that.
I don't understand the science, but it's fine. It was 007 times.
Science didn't really matter all that much.
No. That is what this was giving me.
Yeah.
Serving big, giant, liquid gold, except silver face. Oh, she was beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, I loved it. I was like, honestly, for a moment, I stared, that was where my all my focus was instead of like Raquel.
How could you look anywhere else? She was beautiful. The dub on her was perfect.
Perfect.
It was spot on.
Yes.
Those lips, okay?
Yes.
It was amazing. And
the voice, too. Like, the casting they did for her, they should have did for, like, Aries.
Everyone else.
Yeah,
really.
Everyone else. Yeah.
So, Raquel goes up.
What you think? Was that really you?
I know.
That would have been perfect.
That would have been amazing.
Yeah.
So Raquel goes up and she gets hard turned down by this absolute goddess. And then Apollo goes up, the younger brother, remember,
the 14-year-old
turned down.
Right, because he's not supposed to be there, and rightly so, he's not old enough. Alcohol, all of that in there. Like, he's all the shenanigans.
So then Naima's pal, Artemis, comes over. 28-year-old entrepreneur that he is.
Is the CEO or whatever he is of Alpha 3.
This is just a dessert project for him, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so he comes over and he says, "That's my little brother. Don't let him in."
Let him in. I thought that was hilarious.
I know, same. He gives a big look up and down on Raquel and her sparkle skirt, and then he takes her in that VIP room.
But he takes her by the hand and pulls her in too, and I was like...
So then I was confused, right? Because he did take her by the hand,
but then
very
soft pushed her out.
He just like delivers her to the wild once he's in there. He sits down and just like ushers her through.
Yes.
Artemis.
I was like, you were a gentleman for like 2 seconds and then you weren't. But again, not mad at it because it's kind of... You're kind of giving me tingles right now.
Would it have been more or less gentlemanly for him to pull said person into his lap a little bit and, just to have a small conversation?
I wouldn't have been opposed. I probably would have straddled him.
I see where you're going with your whole, I still respect it and I'm still going to step back, Naima, but I do see it right now.
He had the whole aloof thing going on, and
like just baby face enough to like make it not aggressive,
right? He wasn't like
predatory,
he wasn't like he wasn't Christian Grey, like, you know what I mean?
No.
He was he still had enough youth on him that it was like,
and like, he
I can see why you still
that.
live at home with your brothers, like that kind of youth.
Sure.
But still a maturity that they didn't have.
Absolutely.
That the broodiness worked. It didn't seem ridiculous or cartoonish.
True.
Like, it works.
Very true. Okay. Yeah. So then she walks all the way through and then into an alley again.
Into an alley. Right. Like, do they not have signs? And
listen, this door goes bang shut and like she doesn't know that it's opening again.
No.
She could be out there forever now.
Forever. Like you went in the club only to get kicked out and you don't have anybody to take you back in anymore. But but it's not like she's in that alley by herself.
No, he's smoking out there. Okay.
Again, your lungs. Your lungs. I don't.
It's fine. It's fine. How do you play football?
Do you not lose your
lung capacities. Or
I know,
whatever.
like
I know.
the stamina with your smoking, but okay.
Especially when he's using it in so many other places.
I know. But maybe that's how he keeps in shape.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. He works up that stamina that way.
She says, "Are you running away from me?" She turns the little Red Riding Hood big bad wolf thing right back on him.
She does. She turned into a little tigress in that alley.
She did.
I was for it. I was like, yes, Raquel, because I knew what she was going to do. Like payback.
Did you envision it in the way it happened though?
No.
Me neither.
I was like, damn, girl, you got like 5 personalities. Like
and here's the thing, Naima. I would walk into that alley thinking to myself, oh yeah, I'm going to do a sexy revenge on him, right? And I would have started that way. And it would have been real revenge-like. But then I would have put his hands on my booty the way that she did.
It would have been over.
Well, and then it would have gotten real, all.
I mean, it would have been over. The revenge plot would have somehow dissipated.
Gone.
Right out of my head like
I've
it
never heard
existed.
of it before.
And I'd have been like, oh, revenge. Like,
Schmur.
There's always tomorrow.
Vengeance is better for the dead, I've heard, or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's got to be an adage out there.
It's like something about it's best served cold, and so it'll be nice and cold tomorrow. Like, this moment is piping hot.
Seems inappropriate.
Let me go with it. Yeah, it really does
to make it revenge.
Yeah.
Wow, but she does. So he says, if I was running away from you, that would mean I was so scared of you. And she says, sorry, everyone, I'm too. And she says, you should be afraid of me. And I was like, honestly, she's saying the quiet part out loud again.
Yeah, right.
Like he should maybe be legitimately afraid of her. She's terrifying.
Yeah.
But then she does that.
That's history.
Yeah, she does that Venus flytrap on him. Okay? Naima? And she pushes him down by their 2 fingers on his chest, and he goes kerthunk onto a seat.
That's never worked for me. So it was
me
cool.
neither. I've never Venus flytrapped a person in my life. God, I try to be dangerous, it ends up clumsy.
It really does. It's just, it doesn't work. But it worked here.
It did. And you know what? We bring other kinds of sexy.
That's right.
You know?
That's still valued.
Yes.
And appreciated.
Good ones.
That's right.
Good kinds of sexy. Just different is all.
That's right. And there's nothing wrong with different.
Yeah. Yep. But meanwhile, so Raquel then... So remember how he gently guided her thighs apart?
Yes.
She does a turntables on him.
She does. I was so proud of my girl.
It was incredible.
I really was.
She gently pushes his thighs together. And he says like a dumbass, what are you doing?
Because it's not obvious. And she straddles him.
She straddles his whole lap.
And then whole lap.
She starts kissing up on his neck while doing a horrendously big dry hump on him.
I mean, the camera caught it all. It was a grind. It was like, it was not subtle. My girl was getting him worked up.
I don't know how anything could have missed it, really.
I was hot.
It was fine for me.
I wasn't complaining.
I'll tell you. It worked, is all. And so then it's working for him too.
Oh, so, it's working.
I mean, his boner's got to be engorged to the point of pain.
Oh, man.
He is unfurled for her. And so he goes to kiss her and she turns the tables again and she pulls back. And then she does another big, put your hands on my booty as I dry hump you and kiss your neck.
Yeah.
And then as he comes to kiss her again, she leans back and she goes, Karma's a bitch, Greek god. Raquel.
You minx.
The way I was cheering on my couch. Wow.
Minx you.
Thing of beauty that was. Wow.
I was like, bam, slow clap. Yes.
And
it was good. It was good. He
does not recover.
That.
No, he does not recover.
Nope. Well done. It was well played.
Wow.
And she didn't trip on the way out.
Right? Just that on its own is fucking impressive.
Yes.
God damn it. That is absolutely what would have happened to me. I would have been so proud of myself that I would have been just sauntering on out of there, and then I would have just tripped right into a pothole. Those goddamn invisible alley potholes. Damn it.
The whole exit. I know me. That absolutely would have happened. Absolutely.
I could have maybe done a minxie Venus flytrap on him until it was over, and then I would have been so high on my own dangerousness.
Own victory. That's right. And then for me, it would have been like the banana peel, the quintessential banana peel. My heel would have caught on that, and it'd have been all she wrote. I'm staring up at the sky, my back covered in alley slime.
Either that or like I would think the door is heavier than it was. And I would pull it really hard into myself. I would be flouncing out, and I would flounce too close to the sun, and I would just get hit with that door.
Fucking Icarus. That's the story of my life.
Okay, y'all. This is where I leave you this week. But this just gives you the opportunity to go watch or rewatch this movie in which all the cast members are at least 22 years of age, for sure. Next week, we'll be back with part 2. So, keep being a badass and love yourself as much as you love the discoveries you can blunder into when hive-minding with a bestie. Have a great week. Bye.